edible cookie dough. We are going to make some. It's going to be so good. Today we're going to make a mint chip edible cookie dough. I think it's going to be delicious to the max. Now, two things that are the issue with edible raw cookie dough. Normally is egg, but as you know, all of our recipes are egg free. So then what's the big deal? Raw flour. You're not supposed to eat it. People do it all the time. And in small amounts, honestly, I think pseudo grains in small amounts when they're raw, you're gonna be just fine. But because this is a product that we want to be able to stick in the fridge and leave it there for a while, it's better if we cook our grains first. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get all of these grains measured out onto my baking tray. I do have it loosely lined with parchment paper, and that's going to make the next step easier. So I'm gonna get these measured out and I'll show you guys the next step. Okay, I have all of our flour here. You don't even need to bother mixing it up. And I just kind of gave it a little shake so it was a little more flat. And this is going to go in our oven. I'm going to let this bake. And this prevents us from eating raw flour. Now, while that's in the oven, make sure you set up your flax egg. I've already got those two items combined. And now we're going to cream butter and sugar. So I've got this room temperature butter here, and it's pre-measured. Believe it or not, we actually keep bowls of pre-measured butter in the fridge. I'm sure every household has that, right? Like every allergen household just has butter hanging out. I'm gonna add our sugar and then I'll show you guys the next step. Okay, here we go. This is called creaming. It basically means you're mixing your butter and sugar together. You're increasing the surface area and adding a little bit of air. It makes for a better cookie dough. Next up, we're going to add in all of our extra ingredients and then we're going to top it off with our flour. So first, I'm going to add in a few drops of this peppermint oil. Remember, if you're a Raise member, check out that safe products list because that's where we put all the brands that we love, you know, items that come from equipment that's not shared with major allergens, etc., which is especially helpful if you're new to food allergies and you just don't know where to start. You can find out the brand of vanilla that we use and pretty much the brand of everything that we use because we've done all the research and made all the phone calls for you guys. So now I'm going to add in our baking powder. And believe it or not, even though you're not eating this, you're still going to add it in. So I added the vinegar as well, and now I'm adding the chocolate chips. I would never presume to tell someone how many chocolate chips is enough in their cookie recipe, so this is what we're going with. You can always do less or more. I'm just gonna give this a quick mix. And now, out of the oven, ta-da, our flour. Remember I said I did the parchment paper loosely? It's so I could do this. Just gonna drop it right in and mix it up. Also going to add my flax egg right now. This is when you'll add it. And we're just going to mix. Before we move on to the next step, I want to show you guys what happens if you don't cool your flour. You can see that this actually looks like a standard cookie dough, and it's really cool because it's edible and it's delicious. I wouldn't know, but the kids said it's really, really good, okay? And it looks normal. However, this is what happens if you don't wait for your flour to cool down. It melts the chips, but what's worse, I'm sure you guys can see all like this liquidy residue. That's where the butter starts to get too hot and melt, which is actually what you don't want, okay? You don't want this to happen. So this is what it looks like if you don't cool the flour, and this is what it looks like if you do cool your flour. So what I've done is I set some of the cookie dough aside because I know how the kids are gonna be. They're gonna wanna eat it like right now. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to portion out these cookie dough balls. And then we're going to roll them into beautiful little circles. I will have one of the kids help me because the dairy-free butter in this particular recipe does contain a corn derivative, so it's one less thing for me to touch. But I will be back really shortly to show you what it looks like. So you can see here, Kid 2 is rolling these for me, and we have a whole tray of them. And now, for my magic trick, you're going to put these in your freezer. That's right, you heard me. You're gonna freeze these, and I'll show you guys the next step. Remember when I said we were going to take it to the next level? Here we go. In a double boiler, melt down chocolate chips. That's your first step. So I have our melted chocolate here. I'm going to pour it into this handy little bowl. And I always like to reserve a little bit of extra because it's still hot, and that'll come in handy. Now, I'm sure you've seen magic shell type trick where you put a little bit of oil in your chocolate. It's actually not necessary for this type of technique. The key here is that these are frozen, so ice cold, and this is hot. Here we go. You're going to dunk, twirl, pull it out, and place it down. And you're just going to go through and do this with all of your cookie dough balls. Now for extra added pop, you're going to take finishing salt, and this is just really large crystals, flake salt, and we're going to pop that right on. And we're essentially making like a cookie lollipop, and someone could actually pick this up and eat it. So again, and doesn't that look fabulous? So this is a really great way to take it to the next level. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Hey there, thanks for watching today. If you liked the video, leave us a comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell.